I'm back. How y'all doing? Good, I hope. Well, you're all doing perfect. You're all perfect. Whether you know it or not, you're perfect. Another lovely sunny day here in the Great White North. Winter's almost over here, another month or so maybe, and we're starting to get into some spring-like weather. Touch wood. And anyhow, reason for this video, when we started the Reclaim Your Securities process back in 2020, it was at the time when the nonsense going around the planet was going on, and we could see people losing their jobs and getting laid off and fired and that sort of stuff if they weren't going to comply, capitulate. So we decided our emphasis would be on, with that in mind, helping to liberate people of debt. And so that's been the emphasis of our Reclaim Your Securities for the most part since we started the program back in May 2020. We never got into the reclaiming the recoupment aspect of things. If you're not sure what recoupment is, look it up in the UCC Article 8, or pardon me, the UCC. But then that's getting your money back basically from all the securities presumed abandoned, so on and so forth. We also never got into the diplomatic passport aspect of things, and didn't get into directly the access to the account, the trust account. We got into a bit of that, but not the totality of it. So recently, one of the Reclaim Your Securities people, individuals, did get into that. She put a lot of time and effort into that, and we had a couple of calls with her. These calls are recorded and they're part of the Reclaim Your Securities package now. And again, so this is all to do with the full status correction, the diplomatic passport. So you're no longer part of that system. You're above all of that and outside of all of that, but still you need this passport to be able to navigate around the planet, so on and so forth, and do things. Like I said, there's no man in the system, but you got to have this documentation to to plug into different whatever, for whatever reasons. So in this accessing this trust account, it's kind of like accessing a bank account. Your bank account, you issue orders to the bank via checks, so on and so forth. So I'm not getting into totality of that trust account, but it's that account that's the account that everyone's looking for all the set off, all the payments, the whole recoupment thing, and buying and selling stuff, mainly on purchasing things. And so this individual did a lot of work on that through the Canada Revenue Agency, who assisted her with that, and explain the forms. Now, we had the one form already in use with the initial part of the Reclaim Your Securities, but there's another form. It's the same form again, but there's two of them. You have to do it twice. So anyhow, we had a couple calls with her over the last 2-3 weeks, and these recordings are now part of the Reclaim Your Securities package, so people can get an insight now if they want to take it to Reclaim Your Securities to the next level. That information is available. And although it's talking about Canada revenue and how things are going in Canada here, the principles and the concepts are the same in other countries as well. The forms will be different, but the concept, the principles are exactly the same. And remember here that the issue is that right now everyone is a trustee of their own estate. So the status correction kind of reverses that. So you're the grantor / beneficiary, no longer the trustee. Remember, it's the laws apply to the trustee and the trustee only. So anyhow, we had a Zoom meeting a week ago on that, and the individual that did the work on that I had asked for permission to share that information and receive that information, but I stipulated in our Zoom meeting last week to not make an attempt to do not contact this individual for reasons of privacy. Nobody wants to, get woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Someone, yeah, I got to Reclaim Your Securities package. I listened to your audio there, your recordings, and got some questions for you. That was never offered. So I stipulated do not contact this individual. One of the Reclaim Your Securities people did contact that individual, so I was faced with a choice. Well, in future, if I get information from people that's valuable to the Reclaim Your Securities people, do I not share it now because people are going to contact these people against their desires? Or do I just remove that individual from the group? So I ended up removing that individual from the group. That was basically the consequence of not adhering to the simple request, do not contact this individual, obviously for privacy reasons, or should be obvious. If this individual wanted to be contacted, their contact information would have been there, but it wasn't. So, and that's only proper, quite frankly. But anyhow, onward is that yes, this information now is getting into the recoupment, the proper status change, the full status change, so you end up with that diplomatic passport, which is good planetary wise. In these audio recordings, there's 2 recordings, call 349 and 50, which is, like I say, is part of information package now. She explains it quite well in there. And to bring that about, what has to transpire to bring that about, and there's a little bit more understanding. And remember, right now you're the trustee, so when you're filling out the forms, you're filling out these forms as the trustee, but you want them to be the trustee. And this is where it gets critical as to where you put what you put your signature on and what you don't put your signature on. They got to sign certain documents because they're the trustee, right? The trustee has to be the one to recognize and authorize this, and that's not us. Not in reality, not the way it should be. So they're operating behind the scenes the way it should be. We're operating the way we want it to be, which is we want to be the trustee knowingly or unknowingly and have all the laws, rules, and regulations imposed on us. So it corrects all of that and puts this, the trusteeship back where it belongs, takes you out of the loop as far as that goes. So basically you're the grantor / quasi-beneficiary, the beneficiary on the other end because it's your estate that's underwriting the whole thing, right? The estate you're currently the trustee of for whatever reasons. So that's not part of our information package. We're just kind of getting into that a bit there, but those 2 recordings are very good. And these are based on conversations with the Canada Revenue Agency. And as I say, as I get it, it's Canada Revenue Agency. It's not US or IRS or ATO, whatever, but the principles and the concepts are the same. So if you have the understanding, you can have the corrections or changes made in what here they call the master file. And so that information, as I say, is not part of our information package. So we're just basically taking it to the next level. And this is the final pieces to the puzzle. And one other thing, when people get a Reclaiming Securities package, we provide information. And one of the bits of information is if you're going down the full-on Reclaiming Securities path, you must follow our directions. Stick to it. Now, some people don't want to do that. They want to leap right into listen to the Zoom recordings, which is really the second thing they should be doing. The first thing you should be doing is going through those 600 plus pages of the Reclaiming Securities posts. And it's not 600 pages. Sounds like a lot, but it's not that much. Not like a 600-page book where every page is full of text. And so it's important that people follow our directions. You read those posts because that's where you get the base, your understanding of the principles and the concepts. Then you go to the Zoom recordings that started in May 2020 and start, once you've got that other thing in the background, listening to those Zoom recordings, and that's where all our, we're explaining the different processes, the different forms and things, and the security agreement, that kind of stuff. So it's important that people follow those directions, and some people don't. And I know that for a fact. And those are the people that, in my estimation, will fail. They will fail. Then they want to join other groups. They want to get onto Telegram groups and start talking to other people instead of following the directions that we provided. And that's where the real shit show begins. Now you get a bunch of people come in with all kinds of different worldwide concepts and patriot concepts, blah, 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 blah. And it just turns into a poop show. I'm not at liberty to do that, but my point is if you're going to get the Reclaiming Securities stuff and go on full-on Reclaiming Securities, you have to follow our directions. And as I've said 1,000 times, if not 10,000 times, paperwork without the understanding is a waste of time. And the bulk of that understanding comes from reading those Reclaiming Securities posts. And then get into the Zoom stuff, recordings, where we discuss the various elements and aspects of this Reclaiming Your Securities. And anyhow, I think that's all I came here to say. I wanted to kind of keep it short and just let people know that we've got the other information. Now we're kicking it up a notch to the full-on status correction, the account, access to the trust account, which is the account of all accounts, the mother account, if you want to put it that way. And again, it's like accessing a bank account. You got funds in the bank account, you're there and you want to do something with it. The bank is, that's just, they're not the trustee, but let's just say they're like a trustee in that situation with the trust account. And you write a check and that's the order. That's telling them what you want them to do with your funds. So when we're accessing the trust account, it's very similar to that. You're not writing checks per se, but it's the same kind of concept as far as having like a banker there, and you contact the banker to take care of this, / trustee to take care of this, take care of that, because that's the owner / trustee, right? That's the one who should have been doing it from the get-go. And however, due to a lack of knowledge, we've been suffering for that. No disclosure, I get that, but that's neither here nor there now. People want to go down take them to court for non-disclosure. Good luck with that. Not saying it can't be done, but good luck with it. Many have tried. So yeah, just let you know we've got that information in there now. That's for the people that already have the package. People might be interested in the package. And if you do get the package, do not attempt to contact this individual or any other individual that's kind enough to share information or allow information to be shared with you. Not proper. So let me gather my thoughts here, make sure I got everything I came here to say. It is said, and I'll get back to you in a second here. Thanks. Yes, one last thing. on our YouTube channel, we have the video titled Renewing the Mind, and that was recorded 2019, but you'll see that on our YouTube channel. That goes part and parcel with this, what I'm talking about, the subject in this video here with these recordings with this individual. And it's people, just suggesting people listen to that recording a few times, because the meat of what's in that recording, that 55-minute recording, and then you listen to the calls, the recordings with this individual who got that information from Canada Revenue Agency and what has to transpire here to get access to that account and so on and so forth. The trust account, the mother of all accounts. It's listen to that video, that Renewing the Mind. It's on their YouTube channel, Renewing the Mind's about 55 minutes. A lot of great nuggets in there. And then, these two conversations with the individual close up a lot of the missing pieces to the puzzle, if you will, to clarify the puzzle so you can maybe see the picture better. You should be able to see the picture better and know exactly what you have to do. So on that note, love you. Thank you. If you like the channel, if you like the video, hit the like button. Please subscribe. Share it far and wide. If you're interested, you got people you know who might be interested, let them know about this stuff. And if not, that's fine. And yeah, we're done. Love you. God bless. Light of God never fails. Not possible. Stick to the light. Forget the dark. Let me rephrase that. Focus on the light.